Okay. So imagine waking up and finding out the FBI was secretly tracking every move you made. Not rumors, not press nonsense. Actual FBI agents, surveillance logs, audio recordings, metadata, everything. And guess who was at the center of it? Meghan Markle. Yeah, you heard that right, Meghan Markle. So here's how it all started, and buckle up, because this is not your average royal drama. Apparently, a bunch of heavily redacted FBI files just leaked, and they list Meghan Markle as a primary observation subject under a federal surveillance order. The whole mess kicked off when someone tried to break into Princess Charlotte's school records. I mean, her school records. We're talking about a 9-year-old. That alone should have been huge. But guess what the internal security flagged? They linked the breach attempt to Meghan's own team. I'm not even kidding. A month ago, cybersecurity experts tied to the Royal Protection Division noticed something off, like weird login attempts on the digital servers where Kensington Palace keeps the private school data. But here's the kicker. It wasn't some random hacker trolling around. No, they were specifically targeting Charlotte's profile, her daily schedule, her teachers, even which damn gates she used to exit the school. Why would anyone want that kind of detail on a child? And here's where it gets real. Instead of alerting the public, royal staff were instructed to keep it quiet and pass it up the chain. MI5, the FBI, yes, American intelligence got involved. And while looking into the breach, they found an email connected to one of Meghan's former staffers. This staffer had just been in London for media meetings. How convenient, right? But it doesn't stop there. The very next day, Meghan's personal assistant was spotted at a little cafe in Notting Hill. Sounds innocent, right? Except it was across the street from a cybersecurity firm that used to handle, wait for it, tabloid leak suppression. Coincidence? People don't think so. A tweet popped up on June 23rd from someone with connections. This school breach has MI6, FBI, and Meghan's circle written all over it. Yeah, this wasn't just about privacy anymore. It was a national threat. Leaked lines from the FBI's own internal reports said it clearly. Subject exhibits patterns consistent with coordinated digital access attempts. Royal minors were among potential end targets. And suddenly, Meghan wasn't just a duchess in Montecito. She was a target of a full-blown counterintelligence directive. And let's be honest, why would anyone in her inner circle need to know a 9-year-old's routine? Meanwhile, behind the scenes, it only got worse. The FBI assigned not one, but 2 digital forensic analysts to comb through Meghan's entire digital history. Not just her phone, everything. We're talking encrypted messaging apps, Slack logs from Archwell, burner phones, you name it. However, and what they found? Terrifying. Apparently, the Charlotte breach wasn't the only one. Investigators found that other royal folders had been accessed too. Charity event schedules, travel security plans, even Kate Middleton's private calendar. Like, who's behind this? And more importantly, why? A source deep inside the investigation said it wasn't just idle curiosity, it was a structured architecture meant to gather logistics. They were narrowing in on the kids. That's when the UK's cyber threat response team, usually called in for terror plots, was brought in. That's how serious it got. Still, Meghan's name never showed up publicly. But the phrase close US-based royal associate showed up over 20 times. 20 times! Back in California, the surveillance on Meghan's home in Montecito ramped up. Cell towers were tapped, voice data was intercepted, even subpoenas were issued to major carriers. This wasn't just a watch list, this was hardcore intelligence ops. By July 1st, a cyber expert named Digital Barrister tweeted, "The data footprint from Meghan's estate shows irregular spikes in outbound traffic during the breach window. Someone was syncing something." Oh, and then came the bombshell, audio recordings. Yes, the FBI legally recorded ambient voice data from inside Meghan's house. Think about that. Microphones, recordings, surveillance. This is beyond just, oops, she made a mistake. This is next level stuff. Apparently, in one of the audio snippets, Meghan was heard talking about damage control if things leak, and something about a primary file no one can ever trace. What does that even mean? So the FBI sends a formal inquiry to British intelligence. Did Meghan ever have permission to access classified royal schedules involving children? The answer? A flat-out no. That triggered the formation of a joint UK-US intelligence folder titled Sovereign Minors Risk Assessment, External Access. Want to know whose name was the first redacted? Meghan's. And then, another former Archwell staffer came forward, submitting digital proof that Meghan had real-time access to Charlotte's schedule back in May. Now Parliament's involved. Senior aides have gone totally quiet. Rumors swirl of a Hollywood fixer who helped cover tracks using cloud masking software. Even creepier, Meghan started making secret calls to a political strategist in D.C., someone who used to work on election crisis teams. Why? What was she planning? One line from those call transcripts has everyone buzzing. If they come for me, I have everything saved. If they want war, we give them the truth. The truth? What truth, Meghan? And what's she holding that has the palace this rattled? By July 7th, things had fully spiraled. A memo titled Operation Mind Vault Phase 2, Subject Sussex M, was making the rounds inside UK intelligence. The report confirmed Meghan's call and data activity spiked the exact night Charlotte's files were accessed. Even worse, the data was routed through Berlin, the same IP flagged in a past diplomatic leak. One audio log even caught Meghan saying something about whispering resetting the narrative before Charlotte becomes untouchable. That word, untouchable, set alarms off everywhere because it meant someone saw Princess Charlotte not just as a little girl, but as a symbol, a target, a future monarch being watched and discussed in a strategic context. By July 9th, the FBI asked MI6 for extended cooperation. At 9:14 a.m. that day, @Palace Pulse UK tweeted, MI6 confirms Operation Ivy was real. Meghan's name appears in 3 security documents under code Subject-M1. This is no longer gossip. And yet, Meghan stayed totally silent. No public statement, no lawyer, no Instagram post. Just nothing. And that silence, it was deafening. Then, a young whistleblower from a cybersecurity subcontractor leaked a summary of the FBI's findings. The leaked file, titled Subject M1, Timeline of Proximity Events and Anomaly Triggers, mapped Meghan's movements for 2 weeks before and after the breach. One shocking log, Meghan was spotted outside a restricted telecommunications facility in Virginia for 19 minutes with no record of an appointment or entry. Another burner phone log read, "It's done. I need plausible distance." And the wildest part, an internal FBI message from July 1st. Subject M1 continues persona cloaking, elevated concern, RA target desensitization strategy toward royal minors. Yeah, desensitization, like someone was deliberately trying to make the public numb to seeing Princess Charlotte just so bigger moves could slide under the radar. Online royal forums went nuts. #espionage was trending. People were comparing it to Blacklist, Homeland, even real-life royal takedowns, and yet, still, silence. So by now, Meghan's name was everywhere. Leaked FBI files, surveillance logs, Subject M1 was no longer just a code. People knew who it was. And just when things couldn't get any messier, boom, another leak. This time, a 17-page internal PDF from the FBI passed to a journalist in Brussels, then blasted across encrypted Telegram groups. The title? Timeline of Proximity Events and Anomaly Triggers. It laid everything out. It showed Meghan being geolocated outside a high-clearance telecom facility in Virginia on June 18th. 19 minutes, no security log, no explanation. That same night, a burner phone call, whispering, "It's done, I need plausible distance." What was done, and why did she need to be distanced from it? But the part that really flipped the whole story? That July 1st internal FBI message that got out. It said Meghan was using persona cloaking and possibly coordinating a desensitization strategy targeting royal children. That phrase, desensitizing the public to Princess Charlotte, set the internet on fire. Theories exploded. People weren't talking PR anymore, they were whispering espionage. And in the middle of this chaos, Meghan, still, dead, silent. No interviews, no denials, nothing. Then on July 10th, just as royal reporters were swarming, another twist dropped like a bomb. An email chain straight from Meghan's assistant's inbox, now in the hands of FBI digital forensics. The subject line? Intercept confirmed, awaiting second login access. Attached to it, a forwarded message from a burner account that said, "Access route to Charlotte's school archives approved. Timeline sensitive. Discretion critical." That email's IP traced back to a rental property in Los Angeles, One linked to Meghan's past Spotify contract and her own security team. The FBI confirmed it was real. They didn't say Meghan sent it, but they didn't say she didn't know either. And then, the ultimate betrayal. Her own assistant, the one behind those emails, she flipped. She was placed into protective custody by MI6. That's right. Meghan's former right hand had suddenly become a key witness, set to testify before Parliament within 48 hours. Insiders said her cooperation opened new doors into how the entire plan was orchestrated. And Meghan? Still no comment. Her lawyers finally broke the silence with one cold line. Our client denies all malicious intent and will not dignify anonymous digital leaks with a response. But no one was buying it anymore. Even American media had turned. CNN called it a developing national security situation. Sky News went bolder. Was Meghan being watched all along? This wasn't gossip. This was strategy. Hacking, surveillance, unauthorized school access. You don't get an FBI file for breaking royal dress code. Something serious had happened, and inside the palace, the tone had completely shifted. Kate Middleton, she wasn't staying silent anymore. A source close to her said, "She's not waiting to be rescued. She's building a case." Apparently, she was compiling a full timeline of every suspicious event since 2021. Every PR hit, every overlap, every coincidental leak. The gloves were off. At the same time, UK intelligence was scrambling. A secret parliament meeting convened under the title Unauthorized Foreign Digital Intrusion Targeting High-Profile Minors. Only one name was redacted, but the initials and them were not. And that same day, an anonymous palace aide leaked this chilling line to a journalist. She tried to plant the narrative before the evidence got out. But the school access logs don't lie. We're not dealing with a PR problem. We're dealing with espionage. And then it trended, #espionage, for 7 hours. Even Prince Harry couldn't hide anymore. He'd been silent, invisible, but paparazzi finally spotted him entering a private security firm in LA, holding a folder with the royal crest, alone, disheveled. Was he being briefed? Was he flipping too? Back in London, Kate made a rare move. She gave a UN address on cybersecurity. Pre-recorded, polished, and cold as ice. No glitches, no flubs, just perfect timing. Meanwhile, Meghan, seen leaving a hidden driveway in Montecito, face covered, new security team. Rumor says an ex-NSA contractor. What was she planning? And then came the final twist. A new internal UK intelligence memo surfaced, warning of continued digital probing from a California-based IP. Yes, even after the breach, someone was still digging into royal staff archives. The name Operation Ivy resurfaced. A palace insider told The Telegraph, "When certain code names are revived, it means the subject is now considered a domestic threat to state stability, not just a PR liability." And then Prince William made a personal request to the Prime Minister for an emergency session. His words? "This is no longer family drama. This is someone trying to undermine the system from the inside." That was it. Meghan Markle, once beloved for breaking traditions, now stood at the center of one of the most chilling intelligence investigations involving the royals in modern history. She wasn't being protected. She was being watched. And the Crown? They weren't fighting back. They were building the case. Building the case. Building the